chosen one, at this very moment, an urgent warning is reaching you, not to plant terror within you, but to help you see what has quietly drawn near while you have been occupied with enduring, exhausting days. I, Archangel Michael, am closer to you with a gentler protection than you realize. You may feel your heartbeat changing, a sudden restlessness rising, or an indistinct call preventing you from leaving these words. Do not immediately assume that you are imagining it, but do not allow the number 16 seconds to drive you into panic either. The countdown being mentioned is not a cold clock waiting to take away your future. It is a reminder that you should no longer postpone facing the truth. In a single moment of awareness, you may recognize what months of hurried living have concealed. Quiet your mind, breathe slowly, and allow your heart to become still. Because the veil before your future is being lifted not by violent thunder, but by a ray of light sufficient to show you the next step. I have looked upon the road ahead, and my heart has been deeply moved. Not because I see you destined for destruction, but because I know you have drawn very close to a turning point you have not yet recognized. I see you continuing to give your strength to places that only exhaust you. I see you trying to protect relationships that have repeatedly fractured your peace. I see you standing before a new door while still looking backward, because what is familiar, even when painful, feels less frightening than what is unknown. This is why I call to you with urgency. I am not weeping because your future has no hope. I am moved because you have endured for too long within circumstances you have the right to leave. A part of you still believes that if you try a little harder, tolerate one more injury, or wait for someone else to change, everything will become better. But, my beloved child, not everything is healed through your continued sacrifice. Some places become healthy only when you establish boundaries, and some roads open only after you courageously close a door whose season has ended. Before today, certain truths were not revealed because you were not yet prepared to receive them without blaming yourself. I allowed time to teach you the difference between love and dependence, between loyalty and abandoning yourself, and between patience and the fear of beginning again. If this had been exposed too early, you might have used it to nourish anger, seek revenge, or prove that you were right. But now you have matured. You no longer need to win an argument in order to know that you deserve respect. You do not need the person who wounded you to admit every fault before you can continue forward. You are learning that truth does not always arrive so that you can confront someone else. Sometimes it comes to end the battle within you. The instruction to open it immediately does not necessarily refer to an envelope, a link, or a notification on a screen. What you need to open are the eyes that have become accustomed to viewing everything through fear, the heart that closed after betrayal, and the door leading to discernment, before which you have stood many times without daring to enter. Something in your life is beginning to reveal its true nature. It may be the intention of someone who continually speaks beautifully while their actions remain inconsistent. It may be an opportunity that appears attractive but demands that you sacrifice your principles. Or it may be a good possibility you have disregarded because you believed you were not capable enough to receive it. I want you to look carefully instead of reacting through fear. What is being exposed is not meant to destroy you, but to release you from confusion. If someone is sincere, truth will make the relationship clearer and stronger. If they remain only for personal benefit, light will make what they conceal impossible to sustain. If a road is right for you, careful examination will increase your peace. If it is a trap, signs of instability will appear before you travel too far. Therefore, do not hastily send money, provide private information, place absolute trust in someone, or make a major decision merely because of an urgent statement presented as sacred. I protect you through discernment. I do not lead you into reckless action. The true urgency today is that you must stop betraying your sincere perceptions. Many times you recognize that something was wrong, but persuaded yourself that you were being overly sensitive. You witnessed disrespect, but remained silent because you feared losing a relationship. You sensed that an environment no longer suited you, but stayed because you worried that no other place would welcome you. Each time this happened, your inner voice became quieter while doubt grew louder. I am helping you restore your ability to listen. This does not mean every concern is a prophecy, but recurring feelings deserve calm examination. Observe what is happening, compare words with actions, and ask what produces lasting peace. Once you recognize the truth, stop negotiating with what has repeatedly drained you. Delay may cost you more time, but awakening today may protect many years ahead. I also want you to understand that the future is not a sealed judgment. What I see is not intended to imprison you in anxiety, but to help you recognize the power of your present choices. If you continue along the old road, former cycles may return beneath different faces. But if you change the way you choose, the future will also change direction. You cannot control everything that happens, yet you can decide who is permitted to enter your private space, what deserves your time, and how you will respond to trials. This is why I call this an urgent moment. Not because heaven is about to abandon you, but because you have stood at the crossroads for too long and cannot continue living between two paths forever. One path is familiar, but gradually causes you to wither. The other may initially make you tremble because it requires growth, yet it will lead you toward freedom. I will not force you, but I will never stop reminding you that you deserve to move toward truth, respect, and peace. During the coming days, a conversation may occur, information may be confirmed, or someone's actions may help you understand what I am saying. When that happens, do not allow emotion to make you respond too quickly. Give yourself time to observe the entire situation. You do not need to confront anyone immediately, announce everything you know, or explain your decision to everyone. Wise silence can protect you while the truth continues becoming clear. Keep important plans in a safe place. Seek someone trustworthy when you need advice. And remember that the right decision does not have to be a noisy one. Sometimes the greatest change begins when you quietly change a password, reorganize your finances, prepare a different professional path, withdraw from a toxic conversation, or stop answering calls that appear only when others want to exploit your kindness. My beloved child, I have not come to take away hope, but to purify hope from illusions that leave you vulnerable. I do not want you to live believing that every uncomfortable experience is an invisible attack, or that every feeling of restlessness predicts disaster. Care for your body, rest sufficiently, and seek practical support if you experience prolonged anxiety or pain in your chest. Sacred guidance does not oppose wise care. I want you to be safe both within yourself and in your external circumstances. When you keep your mind clear, threats, deadlines, and extreme declarations will not easily manipulate you. What genuinely comes from the light will make you more awake without taking away your calmness. It may urge you to act, but it will not compel you to do something suspicious or sacrifice your dignity. Therefore, open this message in its deepest meaning. Open your heart to truth. Open your eyes to the signs that have repeated, and open the road for change to begin. 16 seconds may already have passed, but heaven's love has not left you because of it. The genuine opportunity still exists within the decision you make after seeing clearly. Stop returning to places that cause you to doubt yourself. Stop seeking approval from someone who does not know how to value you, and stop postponing the preparations you already know you must make. I stand beside you, not with tears of despair, but with the emotion of one who sees a beloved child finally becoming ready to escape what has held them captive. The veil is opening, truth is stepping forward, and you no longer need to fear that light. Move forward peacefully, because what is revealed today will not destroy your future. It will help you protect it, clear the road ahead, and return you to the freedom in which I have always desired you to live, my child. Today is the intersection between an old cycle that has followed you for far too long and a new road opening, after the moment you release every resistance within your loneliness. This is not merely another ordinary day passing on the calendar. It is a time when you are invited to pause, face what never truly ended, and decide that it will no longer be permitted to control the years ahead. A story from your past has quietly followed you through many stages. It may be a relationship that left a deep wound, a betrayal you do not want to mention again, a pattern causing you to repeatedly encounter the same kind of pain, or a fear you concealed so completely that even those closest to you never recognized it. You believed that if you stopped speaking about it, everything would gradually disappear. Yet what is covered does not heal by itself. It merely retreats into a hidden corner, waiting for a vulnerable moment to return and remind you that it still exists. I have come today to tell you that this cycle does not need to continue. Its ending does not begin when the past changes. It begins when you stop giving the past authority over how you love, trust, and move forward. Before something old truly breaks apart, it often rises strongly one final time. A memory may return unexpectedly, someone who hurt you may reappear, or a familiar circumstance may repeat itself in a different form to reveal whether you still respond as you once did. Do not mistake its return as a sign that you must go back. Often, what is old appears not to be restored, but so that you can recognize how much you have grown. I have seen your future, and I feel sorrow. When I see you standing so close to a breakthrough, while still being at risk of being drawn backward by something you believed you had overcome. You spent a long time rebuilding peace, learning to stand firmly, and recovering your voice. Therefore, do not surrender everything you have built to an unproven promise, a temporary emotion, or someone returning only after realizing that you are no longer waiting for them. I am not saying this to frighten you, but to place power back into your hands. Genuine warning does not cause panic. It reminds you that you still possess the right to choose. My sword of clarity is not intended to harm anyone, but to cut through the layers of uncertainty that caused you to hesitate. A person's true intentions will gradually become visible through the way they behave when they can no longer control you through silence, promises, or guilt. You may notice a shift when you enter a room, speak with a particular person, or stand before a choice you postponed for too long. Some people will become uneasy when they see that you are no longer easily led. Some will become cold because they recognize that you have begun establishing boundaries. Others will approach honestly, willing to accept responsibility and respect your decision. Observe consistency rather than listening only to words. A sincere person will not pressure you to hurry, cause you to question your worth, or demand that you sacrifice your peace to prove your affection. Clarity is not found in one passing feeling, but in the alignment between what someone says, what they do, and how they treat you over time. You may feel urgency like a bell ringing increasingly loudly, but it is not a countdown to punishment. It is a reminder that you cannot indefinitely postpone the decision to protect your future. Two directions stand before you. One draws you back toward what is familiar, even though it once weakened you, while the other leads you toward a place requiring courage but opening the way to growth. The old direction may feel safe because you already know its pain. The new one may make you tremble because nothing is completely certain. Yet familiarity is not the same as peace, and the unknown is not necessarily dangerous. Ask yourself, which choice helps you live more honestly? Which protects your dignity? Which brings you closer to the good person you desire to become? The answer may not always feel comfortable, but it often carries a deep stillness that fear cannot imitate. Many times, you asked for a sign to show you where to go, whom to trust, and what to release. You prayed for confirmation so clear that no uncertainty would remain. Yet a sign does not always appear as a major outward event. Sometimes the sign is that you no longer feel peace within a place where you once tried to belong. Sometimes it is the deep exhaustion of repeating the same explanation to someone unwilling to understand. At other times, confirmation comes when you recognize that you are postponing a necessary step merely because you fear disappointing someone else. My child, the waiting for confirmation can end when you become honest about what you already know. I am guiding you through a revelation so that you can recognize who brings respect, who brings only confusion, what must be preserved, and what has completed its role within your journey. For a long time, you have sensed that an unexpected change is drawing near. Perhaps your recent dreams have become more vivid, your intuition sharper, your emotions less stable, and your sensitivity to the surrounding environment stronger. Do not immediately treat everything as a prophecy, and do not exhaust yourself trying to decode every detail. What matters is understanding what your present state is telling you. Perhaps you endured disrespect for so long that now even one small sign of it becomes immediately noticeable. Perhaps you learned so much from previous years that beautiful words can no longer easily deceive you. This sensitivity is not necessarily instability. When grounded in calmness and discernment, it becomes an ability to recognize what may prevent you from repeating choices that once caused pain. Rest. When your emotions become overwhelming, write down what you observe and test every feeling against reality before acting. What has been preserved for you throughout many years is not necessarily a spectacular event appearing overnight. It may be the maturity quietly formed each time you rose, forgave while preserving boundaries, and continued living kindly, despite being treated unfairly. Now that strength has become sufficient to appear through your decisions. What is destined does not free you from responsibility. It invites your cooperation through courage. You must be the one to speak necessary words. Close the door that must close. Take the step you postponed and stop returning to places offering only brief moments of hope. I can illuminate the road, but you must still place your feet upon it. I can warn you about danger, but you must choose not to enter the familiar trap again. My child, this crossroads does not require you to know your entire future. You only need enough discernment to recognize the next step. If someone continually causes you to wonder whether you are valued, step back and observe. If an opportunity helps you grow, but fear is preventing you from moving forward, prepare carefully and then proceed. If an old wound still influences the way you view a new person, allow yourself to heal rather than turning self-protection into a permanent wall. Today may become the moment when the old cycle ends, but that ending is completed through each conscious choice you make. Do not wait for the past to give you permission to move forward. Do not wait for the person who hurt you to admit every mistake before allowing yourself to have peace. You can close a chapter with discernment, even when someone else never gives you a perfect explanation. The powerful truth, now becoming real, is that you are no longer the person who once surrendered in that lonely room. You were trained through experiences that seemed determined to make you collapse, and now you can stand before the same temptation and choose differently. This is genuine breakthrough. Not that the past never returns, but that when it does, it no longer recognizes the new person you have become. Let today be the day you choose the future over repetition, peace over chaos, and truth over uncertain promises. I am beside you, not pulling you through fear, but reminding you that the sword of clarity is already in your hands in the form of wisdom, self-respect, and the freedom to choose. Cross this intersection with a gentle heart and awakened eyes. Because what has been preserved for so long is waiting for you to receive it, with the maturity your difficult years have created. My beloved child, before a new chapter can open, what has been obstructing you must be clearly identified. Because I do not want you to continue walking through uncertainty, doubt, or delays that have lasted for too long. A purpose was concealed beneath many layers of fear, pain, and words that caused you to lose confidence in your own intuition. Now light is gradually reaching that place. Not to make you panic, but to show you what needs healing, what must be released, and what you must courageously face. I am Michael, the one sent to protect you, and remind you that truth does not come to crush you. Truth comes to release you from questions that have made your heart heavy. Therefore, slow down in this moment, breathe deeply, and allow your mind to become still. What you need to hear will not be recognized through haste, but through calm and clear presence that no longer runs from what you have sensed for a long time. Recently, you may have experienced very unusual sensations. At times you felt unsettled without knowing why. At other times, an unexpected heaviness appeared, or you awakened during the night with a thought you could not easily dismiss. Dreams became more vivid, emotions more sensitive, and you began noticing small changes in the voices, expressions, or attitudes of those around you. But my beloved child, I do not want you to immediately treat every feeling as a prophecy or every change as a sign of danger. When someone has endured prolonged pressure, the mind can become more alert than usual. Exhaustion, sleep deprivation, or unresolved wounds may also cause you to experience everything more intensely. Therefore, listen to yourself without panicking, observe without rushing to conclusions, and distinguish peaceful guidance from fear, pressuring you to act immediately. The warm touch you believed you felt upon your shoulder may become a symbol that you no longer need to struggle alone. Imagine protective wings covering the parts of you that once felt unsafe, were betrayed, or remained silent because you feared no one would believe you. I have not come to enlarge your fear. I have come to help you stand firmly before it and examine it through the light of discernment. Protection does not mean hiding from everyone, distrusting every word, or viewing every silence as a conspiracy. Genuine protection helps you calmly ask questions, preserve boundaries, verify what is unclear, and leave situations that continually steal your peace. When you are properly protected, you do not become more panicked. You become steadier, less impulsive, and courageous enough to face the truth, even when it differs from what you hoped. You are standing within a delicate transition. But this does not mean a disaster is rushing toward you. It means that former beliefs and reactions are no longer sufficient to carry you forward. Perhaps you became accustomed to closing your eyes to what made you uncomfortable, explaining another person's behavior for them, or continually minimizing actions that caused you harm. Many times, you told yourself that you were overthinking, that everything would eventually be fine, or that remaining silent was better than creating conflict. Yet stability created by denying truth will never become lasting peace. Therefore, the fracture you sense is not destruction, but the place where an old covering is opening, so that what has been concealed can be seen. What is not genuine will find it difficult to continue existing once you are no longer willing to look away. A person or situation has recently captured your attention. It may be a sudden silence after a period of closeness, an unexplained distance, or conversely, intimacy developing so quickly that it feels confusing. You notice their voice changing, their words becoming unclear, their reactions differing from before, or the emotional atmosphere between you suddenly becoming heavy. I am not telling you to accuse them based upon a few signs. I am teaching you to look again, with eyes no longer covered by your need to be loved. Examine whether their actions align with their words. Observe whether they respect your boundaries, accept responsibility when they hurt you, and willingly communicate clearly when you ask questions. One unusual moment is not enough to define a person, but a repeated pattern deserves serious attention. What is not as it appears may not be the great betrayal you fear. Perhaps that person is carrying a private burden and does not know how to speak about it. Perhaps they have become distant because of fear, shame, or emotional immaturity. Sudden closeness may also arise from a desire for comfort rather than a sincere intention to commit. You do not need to continue guessing in silence. Clarity is formed through direct communication, calm questions, and allowing time to test behavior. If someone genuinely cares for you, they may not possess perfect answers, but they will not continually confuse you and then blame your sensitivity. They will respect your desire for understanding and will not require you to sacrifice your safety to maintain the relationship. I know that you ignored many small warnings because you did not want to lose a person, an opportunity, or something in which you had invested significant emotion. You explained away subtle comments, moments of disrespect, and unusual reactions, as though they were unimportant. Yet something small that repeats can become a significant pattern. Therefore, trust your ability to observe, but do not turn observation into obsession. Record events as they actually occurred without adding assumptions unsupported by evidence. If necessary, write down what you saw, how it made you feel, and what you want clarified. Truth does not require exaggeration in order to become important. It only needs your honesty so that you stop concealing it from yourself. 16 seconds, or any number, has no authority to decide your destiny. You do not lose protection because you respond slowly. And what is good for you does not disappear because you need time to think. An urgent demand that causes fear is usually not the way I lead you. I guide you through clarity, patience, and a conviction that becomes increasingly stable. When you need to make a decision, give yourself enough stillness to consider the consequences. Ask advice from someone trustworthy and care for your health. If sleeplessness, a feeling of being watched, anxiety, or extreme sensitivity continues and leaves you exhausted, seek a safe loved one or a qualified professional who can support you. Needing help does not make you weak. Wisdom is also part of the protection I provide. Ordinary events can carry lessons, but you do not need to turn everything into a mysterious code. A change in someone's tone may invite you to ask an honest question. Distance may help you recognize that a relationship needs adjustment. A feeling of heaviness may remind you to rest, seek medical attention, or reconsider what is creating pressure. When you view signs calmly, they become useful information rather than sources of fear. What I want to reveal is not that darkness hides behind everyone, but that the time has come for you to stop minimizing what repeatedly makes you feel unsafe. You have the right to establish boundaries. You have the right to ask for clarity. You have the right to leave a place where words and actions continually contradict one another, even when others do not understand your decision. My beloved child, the interference that must be addressed is the habit of allowing fear to control the way you see everything. One side of fear causes you to ignore truth because you do not want to lose what is familiar. The other causes you to distrust everyone and see danger where evidence does not exist. I am leading you away from both extremes. You will no longer be so naive that you accept everything, but neither will you become so cold that you close the door to love and sincerity. You will learn to stand within clarity, where intuition is tested through reality, emotions are heard without receiving complete authority, and peace becomes the standard instead of chaos. Remain with your truth. Not because one moment upon a screen can alter some mysterious frequency in your life, but because you postponed listening to yourself for too long. What is being revealed may be a relationship needing healing, a boundary requiring establishment, or an old wound needing care. Do not be afraid when the veil is moved aside. What can be seen will no longer possess the power to control you secretly. I am here to remind you that you are strong enough to face it, discerning enough to distinguish truth, and precious enough not to continue living within anything that repeatedly fills your heart with uneasiness. Move forward slowly, my beloved child. Truth will not make you smaller. It will return you to the freedom, dignity, and peace you were created to preserve.